So guys, welcome back to the channel. And I just want to kind of talk about the current state of affairs that's going on in this world. And before we do that, I want to read some verses to you. It's going to be Psalms chapter 140, verses 8 through 10. And then I'm going to do my little breakdown of what's going on in the government. That's what this whole video is about. So it says right here, verse 8. This is the NLT version, in case anyone's wondering. Lord, do not let evil people have their way. Do not let their evil schemes succeed, or they will become proud. That's verse 8. I can stop right there, as a matter of fact. That's exactly what's happening with this government shutdown. You have a group of people, a bunch of adults in suits and ties that are supposed to have our best interests. And let's be honest here, they haven't had our best interests for the last, who knows, 60, 70 years, maybe even longer, 60, 70 years, longer than that. They do not take care of the programs that are necessary. Rent is out of this world. Food is out of this world. All of our jobs are being sent overseas. Automation is taking jobs away. Companies are complaining about not making enough money, so they're squeezing you and charging more in order to make more money from you, rather than hiring more people and taking away the automation, because you need real people. People are necessary in order for you to be able to make money. They have to make it in order to spend it. Even if they're frivolous with it, they still have to make it. If you make everything electronic, you're not going to make money. You would think that there's some type of business insider that has enough common sense to see this, but for whatever reason, they don't. And what's happening now is that, with the government shutdown situation, they're basically fighting over what to do with money that's not theirs to begin with. This is taxes that's coming from taxpayer citizens. There are people out there that are in the middle class and lower classes that cannot afford food because you guys have made trade wars and done things where food is unaffordable. Let's be perfectly clear here. If you look at the process of how food is made, it's not increasing just because it's increasing. It's artificial increasing because of how the industry changes things. Certain machines need to be used in order to do certain things with a job. And because repairability isn't a thing anymore, they want you to either go through their companies or you're not able to do it. And then they purposely increase the prices and price people out. They don't even care about the farmers anymore and the people that makes it necessary for them to commit the crimes that they're doing in the first place. But anyway, I'm ranting. Let's go into the next verses. Verse 9, let my enemies be destroyed by the very evil they have planned for me. Let burning coals fall down on their heads. Let them be thrown into the fire or into watery pits from which they can't escape. Ooh, well, that's self-explanatory. These type of monsters will end up in its place. It's going to happen when the Lord wants it to happen, not when we want to. What we have to do right now is just basically keep the faith and do what we can to stay afloat. I know it sounds a lot harder than what it is, but honestly, that's all you can honestly do. It's a shame. Just pray the Lord will provide for you. He provided for me. I was doing bad some time ago, not recently or anything, but I ended up building a business up. Doesn't make much money, but it's something that I truly enjoy, something that I believe in. My wife is trying to do her own thing too, and just for the fun of it. And if it becomes a business for her too, again, I'm happy for whatever the Lord has, his next steps are for me. But let me just kind of break down what a government shutdown is. A government shutdown is when a bunch of grown men that can't come up with simple solutions, they just argue with one another and they decide to neglect the people that's happening around them. So who's being affected by this government shutdown? Obviously, a lot of people, federal workers, other things like that. But I'm going to bring this down to a basics, the bare bones basics. You have housing that's being affected. You have food stamps being affected. You have homeless shelters being affected. You have people that are in situations where either whether they did it directly to themselves or if they just had a hard time happen to them, a job shut down, that's happens. Look at all the layoffs that's going on. People are going to foreclosure. They're losing their apartments. They're losing their cars. They're living in their cars. They're dipping and dodging, doing everything they can to stay afloat. And it's not like they aren't trying to work. A lot of people are working full-time jobs. We've even gotten to the point where corporations are openly having these little town halls and things on LinkedIn and all these little videos showcasing that they want their workers to not have a second job because they feel like you're stealing time from the original job, which is none of your business what you're doing. Corporations are the enemy of the American people, point blank. They're the enemy of all people. Are there good corporations that care about their workers? Absolutely. And still turn a profit? Yes, they do exist, but those will never be highlighted because it's the norm to be evil, to destroy people, to give yourself a 400% raise, but then shut down production and say you don't have enough money. Well, if you didn't give yourself that ridiculous raise on top of your millions you're already making, your business would still be flourishing even more. It's not rocket science. When you look at the basic math of what's happening, a lot of people in power, because they have this greed and this hunger to want more, they're willing to destroy anyone around them. They don't look at you as humans. Trump, Biden, whoever you want to say, whoever your favorite political pundit is, none of these guys look at you as human beings. They look at you as a number. They're only concerned about their agenda and what they think works. Nothing they've done has been proven correct. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, but more so, I would say more so they're wrong most of the time. SNAP benefits is about $100 million of the budget. They put more, individual states have used more money in housing illegal immigrants and hotels and schools and things like that, bring them over to the border in the last administration than food stamps. And it just goes to show that they're willing to use any person, whether it's a Democrat or Republican, it doesn't matter. It's the same side of the coin. I mean, well, it's a different side of the coin, but it's the same coin at the end of the day. So it's still corrupt. And they're using you guys to anger yourself so you can get angry at the government, riot, revolt, and do everything because this is what they want. This is how they play the game of politics. When you're angry, you're going to vote the other side because you think the other side is worse, which it might be in that case. But when you look at the bare bones of how many years, some of these people are career politicians, and you can't tell me a policy that they have ever done that has actually helped you in your long time of your life, have you? You can't. Either because you don't pay attention to policy or the fact that they haven't done anything for you. I lived in Philadelphia a majority of my life, and I moved out within the last probably like 9-10 years, right? And Kensington and Allegheny has always been a drug spot since I was a child. That's telling you something. You mean to tell me that after 39 years of me being alive, they can't fix those problems to each individual states? It's not that they can't, they just simply don't want to. They don't care about the people. People don't get into politics because they want to make the cities better. They get into politics because it's the easiest way to make money. Everyone is holding hands in hand. You can sign deals with contracts. It's no different than YouTube. Like when a person gets a sponsorship and lies about a product, that's the same as that thing that government is doing. They're being paid to lie and peddle whatever it is that their party wants, not what the people actually need. All of us are expendable. So when I stepped away from politics and news and stuff, right, and just focused on the Lord, like just learning more about myself, learning about what I need to do, sharpening my skills so that I could put it into a market, regardless of where AI is, I don't really care. I have to sharpen my skills. I'm not going to allow the world to destroy my passions because you guys are feeling a type of way. You should always still do your passion regardless of what computer can do it better. Still hone your skills. You never know when you need to use them. There's going to be a situation where you have to eventually. And I started a YouTube channel and I built that channel up and I do tech videos and I enjoy what I do. My wife is doing the same thing now on her channel. She does shorts for right now, got like 11 subscribers, but we're trying, right? Her channel is called Simply Irregular, if anyone wondering. And, we're trying to find a different way without infringing on people's rights in order to make money. That's the right way to do things. The government doesn't care. They do not care about the people. They have never cared about the people and they never will care about the people. So when I read this verse, right, the first thing that came into mind when I read that is that you have a group of evil people, an evil organization doing everything they can to take as much away from the people, tax you more. They'll raise your rates more. They won't regulate rent. They won't regulate anything. They have the ability to make laws, silly laws any other time. But when it comes to the everyday things that we, the people, need, all of a sudden, it's a ghost town. Every election, nobody talks about your housing. Nobody talks about your rent. No one talks about your PICO bill being too high or your PGW or your water bill. No one talks about the escalating rates. How are things getting more expensive if you have a monopoly over what's expensive? That doesn't make sense. Like, I'm not stupid. I know that you're purposely raising the rates on your own. And unfortunately, they've managed to convince people that it's everyone else that's causing the problem instead of the ones that are actually charging you the bill. It's utter ridiculousness. And we got to wake up and realize that they are, in fact, the enemy. It doesn't mean you attack them or violent or loot or the internet nonsense. Looting, stealing, computers and sneakers have nothing to do with food. So don't do that. The people that do that just want to steal stuff because they don't want to work for it either. It's evil on every side. But for the ones that want to stay, anchored to the Lord, or even if you don't believe in God and you're just like, this is wrong regardless, and you have a conscience, we're the ones that we got to stay with everything happening around us. I know I'm stuttering, I apologize, but we have to stay true to ourselves and not allow ourselves to be corrupted by these other people. It's a shame what's happening. And I'm praying for everyone to be able to keep their housing. I'm talking about the ones that aren't taking advantage of the system. Like for a family that may have lost their health insurance or having hard times. Yeah, you might need government assistance, but you're still working a job. For that father or mother or a couple that may not be able to afford the new grocery prices, you may need an extra $200, $300, $400 in SNAP benefits. Quite frankly, the government is stealing 20% of your income, 30%, maybe 40%, and then tax you even more at the end of the year. So it's like, yeah, you deserve to get a couple $100s. That's not asking for too much. The middle class is gone, y'all. And eventually the upper class is going to be going too, and it's only going to be rich. It's just going to be them versus us, and it's already happening. But anyway, like and subscribe like always. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I just want to kind of just spread the fact that government is evil. They've always been evil for years. And I don't know if I should be saying this. I don't know if YouTube is going to pull this video down for me saying that, or maybe no one's going to see it. That's a possibility too. But at the end of the day, always protect yourself and your own assets and what it is that you want. Do not conform to other people's way of thinking, especially when you know it's predatory and is against your belief system. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care. Peace. God bless. I'm out.